Welcome to America Uncanceled. This is Mercedes Schlaps. Of course, I have no idea where Matt Schlapp went. We've had the craziest summer schedule, but I got to tell you, it's a great day to be a conservative in America. And we are now the post-Roe generation, which I am just so excited about. And I want to invite a very special guest who has been part of this battle, of this fight, of praying at the Supreme Court, I would say not only for months, but for years. And he was there. He was an eyewitness on June 24th when the Supreme Court ruled that Roe v. Wade was unconstitutional. So joining me now is Reverend Pat Mahoney, a dear friend of the show, a dear friend of CPAC, Chief Strategy Officer for Stanton Public Policy Center. Reverend Mahoney, my dear friend Pat, thank you for joining me.
Mercy, I've been on a number of CPAC shows, but none more happy and thrilling than this one. I have no voice left. We have been celebrating and strategizing since June 24th, and it was one of the most moving days, emotional days. 49 years we've been on the front lines, praying in brutal heat, frigid cold, $7 million in fines for my pro-life work. So much more. And both you and Matt also. Matt was a graduate student 31 years ago working with us in Wichita, Kansas. This is how long ago it was. I had hair and Matt had dark hair. That's how long ago and how long Matt's been fighting. And you for 22 years working with you. We are just thrilled that we are moving forward to end the violence of abortion and to provide support, encouragement, compassion, and hope to women with unexpected pregnancies. It was an amazing time, and we are pressing on.
So let's go back to the morning of June 24th. Now, I got to tell you where the Schlapp situation, I literally forced Matt to go with me to drive one of our daughters out to Indiana for the summer program. And Matt kept telling me, he's like, I really don't think I should leave. I just have a feeling I need to stay in Washington. But I was like, honey, I need you to help me drive. So as we're driving, we get phone calls and they literally say that the Supreme Court had made their decision on Roe v. Wade. You were at the Supreme Court. Needless to say, my husband was very mad that he was not at the Supreme Court that morning because he really just felt so called to stay. But you were there. You were there with friends of ours, Penny Nance and several others of these wonderful pro-life organizations. There's a great photo of you at the New York Times. I'm sure the New York Times did not want to publish your photo, Pat Mahoney, along with these great pro-life leaders.
Who does want to publish a photo of me? That's a whole nother topic.
Look, you used to have an afro. It looked great. No, I don't know what happened. But so let me ask you this. So tell us about that moment. Walk us through when the decision came down. What was the reaction at the Supreme Court? And how did you feel when you just heard this, knowing that you've been in this battle for so long?
Well, Brandy Swindell can relate to Matt because she had been here so many times.
I know.
It's happened in Idaho.
Yeah.
So here's the way it worked, Mercy. Every opinion day for the last 7 weeks, the pro-life community has been out at the Supreme Court waiting. On Friday, June 24th, there was a real sense of anticipation through a number of sources that the case was going to be released. So to set the backdrop, there's hundreds of pro-lifers standing with the court behind us. What you couldn't see were hundreds of pro-choice people screaming at us, yelling at us. We're looking at the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States blog. 2 cases came out, and we're wondering, is this going to be the day? And then case number 3, and it was like electricity. It was, when we announced it from the podium, people were jumping up and down, hugging one another. I turned to dear friends in the movement who were crying. And that New York Times picture, you never know when they're shooting like 100 times a minute, captured us. You see my face there, the happiness, the joy of realizing that no longer will our nation bear the scar of calling abortion violence a constitutional right. And the picture was great, Mercy. But the best part about the New York Times article, and the editorial board probably is in therapy right now,
Right.
or medicated.
So we're
Roe overturned. That was the big banner headline. Roe overturned.
now.
And so it was just tons of young people there. Everyone was jumping up and down, bullhorns blaring. It was just an incredible moment. And to see it, what was amazing, I wish America could see it. On the other side, people, the pro-choice side, bursting into tears, just going almost silent for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They kind of in shock.
So let's also take a step back. So we saw that Chief Justice John Roberts, he did support and ruled in favor of the Dobbs case, which this is the one that deals with the Mississippi case that would ban abortions for past 15, 16 weeks, correct? So, but in Roe v. Wade, he did not side with what we would say the conservative Supreme Court justices, because I think he wanted to take more of an incremental approach. Were you surprised with the fact that he even supported the Dobbs case? And then were you also surprised that he did not rule in favor of the Supreme Court Roe v. Wade case?
Well, all of us, quite honestly, over the years have been pretty disappointed with Chief Justice John Roberts. So I think within our minds, we were thinking 5-4. Right. That's what we were looking at the whole time. So we were thrilled when that 6-3 decision was announced. Upon closer analysis, it was disappointing that the Chief Justice did not rule that Roe shouldn't be a constitutional right and to directly overturn Roe. I find the Chief Justice's position on that, like on so many decisions and opinions he gives, kind of schizophrenic. And the Chief Justice seems to want to have one foot on one side and one foot on the other. But on critical issues like this, that can't be done. So I would just have to say, thank God for these new 3 Supreme Court justices, the newest Supreme Court justices, because if we were depending on John Roberts to be that deciding 5th vote, it wouldn't have happened. So, Mercy, but you have to put this too. Then we get yesterday. Right. I mean, talk about huge victories. Then we get the Coach Kennedy case. And so progressives have to be going insane.
Well, I think you're right. But just before we go into the Coach Kennedy case, I do want to ask you, so what does this mean now with Roe v. Wade overturn? As you know, as I know our viewers, they want to be equipped with the best facts possible on how they explain this ruling. We know it goes back to the states, but what does it mean? There's obviously all this I would say, loudness from the other side that abortion's being banned and that, this is horrible and taking away the rights of women. I mean, they're using all these tactics, but what's the best argument that our viewers can make, obviously in the most important, I would say talking point, which is that of the protection of the lives of the unborn, in explaining Roe v. Wade and why it was unconstitutional to begin with?
Well, first of all, your point is well taken. So I would tell everyone Roe v. Wade has not banned abortions. The overturning of Roe v. Wade has not banned abortions. It's given it back to the states, and many blue states, for lack of a better term, like New York, California, Massachusetts. There literally will be no change whether Roe was overturned or not. But what it did, and this is the most essential part, it withdrew that position that abortion is a fundamental constitutional right. There is no right of abortion in the Constitution. And so the Supreme Court removed that. And so that now allows states and local municipalities to make decisions about abortion on their own. Now, we would like to see, of course, abortion violence banned altogether. Right. But what this decision did was it gave it back to the states, back to local municipalities. So there are 26 states right now that have a form of what is called a trigger law, where abortion will be either completely outlawed or almost exclusively outlawed. 13 states have complete abortion bans. And one, Stanton Public Policy Center, Stanton Healthcare, is in Idaho, where in 30 days abortion will be illegal. So everyone's asking, what's next? On July 12th, Stanton is meeting with political leaders, community leaders, and faith leaders to say, how will we support women in an abortion-free Idaho? And we want to be an example for these other 12 trigger states and then the 14 larger states. We now are in a position where, Mercy, we're not offering women the violence of abortion. We're not treating women as a commodity. We are not diminishing human life. We are saying, let's come together as a nation and people, and women who find themselves with unexpected pregnancies, offer them quality medical care, practical help, and hope. And that's what we are doing. That's what the pro-life community is about. This is crazy, too, to think, Mercy, this Jane's revenge. So they talk about abortion being a woman's right and a woman's issue. And what are they doing? Bombing centers that help women. It's beyond the pale.
Bombing centers. It's assassination attempts on our Supreme Court justice. It's making these horrific comments like Whoopi Goldberg said about Clarence Thomas. We see the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, using the F word, talking about Clarence Thomas. This is a disgrace coming from the left. You might disagree with the Supreme Court decision, but there has to be a way that we are able to not only protect our justices, but protect our institutions. And what you're finding is that the Democrats, they're unhinged. So they're all about changing our institutions and trying to transform this republic by saying, let's expand the Supreme Court. Let's get rid of the filibuster. I mean, it goes on and on and on with the progressives in terms of when they don't get a result that they don't like, they can't just try to get along, try to make it work. No, for them, it is about destruction. It is about bullying. It is about these threatening tactics like going after the life pregnancy centers. Is Stanton taking the necessary steps to ensure that they are being protected out in Idaho from any sort of violence?
Yeah, and this is tragic. We were on the phone all yesterday with Brandy and the team, so we are getting threats. We had to hire personal security for the clinic. Remember, personal security at a medical clinic that helps women. Right. That's how we have contacted the local police departments. There's a big rally on the steps of the Idaho State Capitol in Boise tonight. And we have to have a massive police presence. A dear friend in New York City has FBI at his house. He's getting death threats. I mean, when Roe v. Wade passed, look at our response. We were disappointed. Right. We were troubled. But we said we are going to work peacefully to bring about change and the ending of this law. And 49 years later, we did. Now what's happening, and you raise a fantastic and troubling point. They are saying this is an illegitimate decision by an illegitimate court. They are tearing down the institution of the United States Supreme Court. I don't know where this ripple is going to go, but I know it's not good. And when we start tearing down our public institutions, which have been the fabric of holding this great republic together, we are in grave danger as a nation.
Reverend Pat Mahoney, stay with us. And believe me, you are not going to want to miss Colton's encounter with these pro-abortion demonic types when we get back, because, it's pretty simple. We'll be right back.
CPAC is back and is returning to the Lone Star State, Texas, August 4th through the 7th. Get tickets to see your favorite conservative leaders take the stage in Dallas. The movement that made America will be the one to save America. CPAC, Texas 22. Get your tickets today.
Welcome back to America Uncanceled. This is Mercedes Schlapp. And guess what? We're up on podcast and we're going to send you a lot more information so you can also listen to us on the podcast, which I think is very exciting. And obviously tell your friends about this great show that we've put together. We've had millions of views, and we're just so proud of the incredible work that CPAC is doing. And remember to get your tickets for CPAC Texas. That's August 4th through the 7th. Dallas, Texas. It'll be hot, but it'll be great as we do the countdown to the midterms. Joining me is Reverend Pat Mahoney. We've been having this great discussion about these Supreme Court rulings. I do want to talk to you about this event that you had, the ban chemical abortions. I literally called Pat this morning and said, don't you want to take like a week off so you can just recover from Roe v. Wade? Because you've been nonstop at the Supreme Court. Why are you doing this event in front of HHS? What is the message?
Well, first of all, we had a great event at HHS and Mercy after the overturning of Roe. So many other people, we talked in the earlier segment, they kind of thought it was a finish line. It's not. It's a starting line. Right now, 57% of all abortions are medical or chemical abortions. The next phase that we have to address, what's next? Banning chemical abortions. Right. So we had this event at HHS where we are calling for chemical abortions to be banned. They take the life of an innocent child, they harm women, and they destroy our environment. And Stanton Public Policy has this 7-point approach of what we will be doing. But one of the key ones, I know CPAC is very political and policy oriented. We now have to teach and train our political leaders that when they say they are opposed to abortion, chemical abortions have to be involved in that equation. When they say they don't want abortions in their states or through the country, they have to include chemical abortions. Right. We right now are launching this national campaign. It's hashtag ban chemical abortions and hashtag pro-life, pro-green. If you're really concerned about the environment, if you're concerned about women not putting chemicals and other things into their bodies that are destructive, then there is no way you can support chemical.
Just real quick, what's the percentage of chemical abortions right now?
57%.
57%. And what does that entail?
It's a twofold process. It's supposed to happen within the first 12 weeks. You get an ultrasound. We have documented in Idaho, they don't do what they say they're going to do. Then you take another pill. And Mercy, I don't want to be too graphic on the show, but you, in essence, deliver your dead child, and then it's flushed down the toilet. Wow. So you can imagine the damage that hundreds of thousands of aborted children being flushed down the toilet are doing to our environment. It's truly unimaginable. And if it was in any other setting, the environmental movement or progressives would be enraged.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the Democrats went from being safe, legal, and rare to being supportive of these late-term abortions and celebrating it. You're so right. I mean, I saw that picture of a woman, and she was very pregnant, and basically it said, "I'm not human" on the belly. I'm sure the baby completely disagrees with her mother on that, and really using these children as props at these pro-abortion events is just so sad. And we pray for those individuals to have a conversion, quite frankly, because life is so precious. And I loved seeing all those, all those Twitter posts and all the social media posts on life wins, babies wins, family, babies win, families win. It's been unfortunate to watch how corporate America quickly caved in, said we're going to pay for abortions, send the person over to another state. And the reality is before corporations would actually be somewhat supportive of families. And now it's much cheaper for them to have someone, a woman basically abort a child than it is for them to have to pay for more health care for the child. I do want to get your quick comment here before we have to leave about the Coach Kennedy case, which another big win coming out of the Supreme Court for religious liberties. I tweeted this out. We should be deeply concerned with the state of our country when a simple act of prayer by a football coach leads to years of court cases and an eventual ruling from the highest court in the land. Let me get your reaction. About 30 seconds left.
Sure, and him losing his job.
Right.
First of all, our Constitution promises not freedom from religion,
Right.
but freedom of religion.
Right.
It's a significant victory. This now moves forward that says even in the public square, you do not have to surrender your First Amendment free speech and religious liberty. This is a milestone case, and it will now open the door for more people within the public square without fear of intimidation, feel free to express their religious liberties.
That's right.
Significant religious freedom, significant First Amendment victory.
And as they say, the prayer shouldn't stop at the school gates, and its students and teachers should be able to pray. And it's just such a big win for religious liberties. Reverend Pat Mahoney, thank you for being such an incredible pro-life leader, for praying so hard as millions of Americans have prayed for this very historic moment. And as you say, the work is not done quite yet. We have a lot more to go, and we'll keep you posted on any other developments coming out of the pro-life movement. Thank you so much, Reverend Mahoney.
Thanks, Mercy. God bless.
God bless. And of course, you got to stay with us, because our very own Colton was out on the streets the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned, and you're not going to want to miss this. So take a look.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where'd the coward go?
Break the shoes, motherfucker! Nobody dies during an abortion! My choice! My choice!
Nothing.
Because the fetus is not a person!
Hey everyone, Colton Furlow here. We are right outside of the United States Supreme Court yet again, and this time we are celebrating. Today, the United States Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and what that means is abortion access and abortion will be sent back to the states. Now, there's a lot of people here, but the majority of these people are pro-abortionists, because the pro-life people, they're probably at work right now, so they can't come out here.
Pro-choice, not pro-abortion.
You're,
Pro-choice.
so what choices are you guys advocating for?
I'm advocating for women to have the right to choose whether or not to have an abortion.
So are you going to, since this landmark decision, are you going to support like pregnancy crisis centers now?
I think pregnancy crisis centers are a completely different thing. I don't think those actually
It's a
provide-
choice.
Those do not provide safe health care for women.
How do they not?
I'd first like you to explain your side of what kind of health care you do think they provide. Because I don't
I'm
think
the one
that's
asking
healthcare.
questions. It is healthcare.
Now I am.
I don't see you with a mic.
I have it to me right now. You can answer it.
I don't see you holding the mic.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't have the
So,
if you aren't
so,
able to
so this is a
explain
typical
how
argument.
pregnancy
This
crisis
is a
centers
so
actually
excuse
provide
me.
healthcare for women,
So this is a
that's the
typical
problem.
argument.
Because you see the truth that they don't.
My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice! My choice!
So we are here with Penny Nance right outside of the United States Supreme Court. So Roe v. Wade is overturned, but that's not the end of the fight. What are the next steps?
Well, it isn't the end, but initially we feel such joy and gratitude to God that we're here, that we got to witness this moment. Gratitude to the women who came before us and worked so hard. Members of people who have been to CPAC over the years in the March for Life. Our members, we've been around since 1979. Some of them are in heaven now, and we're just incredibly grateful for their hard work, walking the quarters of Congress, walking the halls of their state capitals, taking women into their home, volunteering at pregnancy care centers, all the work that's gone in. So we feel incredibly grateful. We're grateful to Donald Trump, who followed through on his promise and appointed 3 constitutionalist judges. That would not have happened if he had not won in 2016. Thank you for the women that voted for him. But also, we feel absolutely determined to work on a state-by-state basis to protect the least of these in law, but also through alternatives, to work even more so in even a more robust culture of life in every state. This is just the beginning. Honestly, it just puts us on equal footing with the other side. In 1973, 7 men decided for everyone, right? They decided for everyone. They decided an unconstitutional, unscientific, and immoral decision. And today that was changed. A grievous wrong was righted. But we also have to pause for a moment, and there's been many tears today over the 64 million babies who died since Roe v. Wade. It was senseless, and we want to do better as a country. So thank you to CPAC, and thank you to the Schlaps, and it's just a great day.
Well, thank you. I don't want to hold you up. I want to let you go celebrate, and we'll see you at CPAC, Texas. Am I right?
You will see you at CPAC, Texas.
All right, sounds good. You know you're outside with a mask on? You're outside with a mask on? Rape culture, is that what that says? How is this rape culture? Less than 1% of abortions are from rape.
Ooh, you can't.
Yes, that's what the statistics are from the CDC. You believe in science, right?
We're not going to talk about it.
Why not? You're out here. Why can't you talk about it?
Rape isn't about sex, it's about violence and it's about power, and laws that uphold patriarchal, violent power structures are going to uphold rape culture.
Intrusion.
Less than 1% of these.
I'm sorry, you ignored everything I just said.
What you're saying doesn't make any sense, because how is this rape culture relevant to overturning abortion?
I'm so sorry. You literally ignored everything I just said, so I'm not going to engage with you. Thank you so much.
They don't want to repeat what they said because it didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Illegitimate road.
How?
Illegitimate law.
How?
My body, my choice.
How?
My body, my choice.
You say men can't have an opinion, right?
My choice. My body.
Does anyone here
my
think men
choice.
can have an opinion?
My body.
Not on this issue, man.
No?
My body,
So who are the
my
original
choice.
justices who ruled on Roe v. Wade?
You are wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong?
The
You're
constitutional
wrong.
underpinning this is totally off base.
The
Totally.
Constitution what? I can't hear with your mask outside.
Well, that's because I'm protecting myself from people like you who probably aren't vaccinated, right?
You're right, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't believe in injecting foreign things into my body.
Well, hope that catches up with you someday.
Oh, so you're wishing death on me. That's great. How tolerant of you. That's cool. You love to kill children. We got it. The tolerant left, everyone. What's everyone's favorite part about killing children?
When they die.
Oh, when they die. That's very nice of you. Is that your real stance, or do you want to change that one?
No, I'm going to keep it, thanks.
You like to kill.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Well, I'll pray for you because you need some Jesus. You have abort SCOTUS. What does that mean? Like get rid of SCOTUS?
Sort of, kind of. It's get the people out of there. Like, it's more of a, it's like not to burn down the building, not like that, but it's to get, what I feel like is we need to have impartial, we need to have people that are from different countries. I mean, like different countries, like have, like, okay.
You know, this is one of the most diverse courts ever.
How?
Sonia Sotomayor, Clarence Thomas.
Think about that, but then.
And that's a wrap right outside of the United States Supreme Court here in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. It's an amazing day full of celebration for the pro-life warriors who have fought so hard day in and day out to overturn Roe v. Wade. But the fight is not over yet. We have to take this to the states, and we will not stop until abortion is banned in all 50 states. God bless the United States Supreme Court.